Iron Riddle says, having a great night, sent a story called Pussy Whipped. I remember seeing that earlier. Yes. I saved it. We love the Iron Riddle stories around here. Where's that one at? I know I got it. We got a new staff NCOIC, Gunnery Sergeant E7. Walked into the shop in his Service Alpha uniform, and holy shit, this guy had a fruit salad. Navy Cross, Distinguished Flying Cross, Defense Distinguished Service, Silver Star, Bronze Stars, Purple Hearts, Navy Marine Corps Medal, Humanitarian, Combat Actions, Navy Commendations, Navy Achievements, Silver Star Clusters on his Sea Service, Silver Star Clusters on Overseas Service, and every campaign ribbon available from Vietnam through Desert Storm, and 3 stars on Combat Air Crew Wings, Rifle and Pistol Expert. He introduced himself. Hi, I'm your new HMFIC. I introduced myself. I'm Sergeant Riddle. I'm the acting HMFIC, and it's about fucking time you got here. I don't have enough stripes for this bullshit. Gunny's parents immigrated from Taiwan during World War II. His wife was in tow, and wow, what a knockout. Asian descent, and she was dressed like she was on her way to a formal dinner. About 30, 15 years younger than Gunny, and a solid 9 without makeup. 5'4", 120 pounds, long black hair went down to her ass, held in place with a solid gold diamond-studded comb. She had a diamond ring on every finger, especially her wedding ring, diamond earrings, and a necklace. She did not look at me or say anything to me until Gunny introduced her. In the most respectful and polite Asian accent, she said, "Hello, it's a pleasure to meet you." As she humbly bowed, she would not look directly in my eyes, but only quickly glanced at me. She held out her hand in the most feminine way. I looked at Gunny, and he nodded at me. Yes, and so I reached out and kissed her hand. Nope, this woman was a 10, and as the day is long. What I initially thought of her to be shy and timid turned out to be cultural courtesy and respect, the only unicorn I have ever seen in my life. They had 2 children, a boy and a girl in their early teens. She did not have a job outside the home. She was a wife and a mother. I said to Gunny, I'm sorry, I sent the rest of the shop to chow. The birds are out flying and should be back in about an hour. Fuck it, I'll meet everyone later. Need to get over to base housing. Hold on, let me introduce you to Captain Smith. He's in the back office. On the way back, I said, pointing at the chest of ribbons, looks like you haven't done shit in your career so far. He smiled, laughed, and said, yeah, not a damn thing. As months rolled by, we'd see his wife come in from time to time, always dressed like she was on her way to a formal dinner, drove a new Cadillac where Gunny drove an old, beat-up Chevy S10. Guys in the shop always gave Gunny tons of shit, telling him he was pussy whipped. Gunny didn't care. Each time he would respond with, she's my queen, she gets all my best, and she's worth it. Yeah, Gunny, you're pussy whipped. No matter how much they teased him, he didn't care. He would say, she is my queen. Tell us stories, especially of his tours in Vietnam. Normal weapon load for air crew at the time was to carry Colt 45 and 50 cal mounted to the window frame of the helicopter. Gunny carried 2 Colt 45s, an M14, and an M79 grenade launcher. When asked why he carried all that hardware, because I can't take the 50 cal with me, it's too fucking heavy. I would have taken it if I could. Why the M14 and not the M16? Well, because that new plastic pea shooter is a piece of shit. There's still a lot of hardware for a crew chief. Yeah, well, I'm still breathing and some other motherfuckers in their forever box. Why the M79? Well, because it's better to blow shit up than to be blown up. Also, I believe that just being armed that way prevented myself from getting attacked while in towns and villages.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Yeah. In one event, his unit was evacuating a small town, saving the lives of many families before the enemy took possession of it. It was a hot extraction, and some of those civilians didn't make it. War is hell. One family was trying to make it to the copters. The wife was bleeding badly from her lower leg and couldn't walk. Her husband was carrying and dragging her, and they had 3 children with them. Plane commander told him, leave them, they'll never make it. But a corporal at that time yelled at his gunner, don't fucking shoot me. Trusting his gunner wouldn't fuck up, he ran downrange as the gunner opened fire on the troops that were quickly advancing on the crippled family. 50 cal rounds whizzing by just inches away, the gun concussion force hitting him in the back like a baseball bat, causing his ears to bleed. The other 3 helicopters began to lift off out of LZ, and they too opened fire and unleashed a supersonic lead wall of holy hell, effectively suppressing the advancing troops.
Nice.
He ran over and scooped up this woman over his shoulder, grabbed the youngest child around the chest, and hauled ass back to the bird, believing the man would make it with the other 2 children, which they did. And they lifted off out of the LZ as what was left of the town swarmed with enemy troops, and a low-altitude formation A6s turned the town into a smoking hole. It was fun to listen to his stories, and he was never bragging as he told them. Gunny's wife stopped by one time late in the day to drop off some homemade bread, cookies, and cakes for the shop, which she did at least once a week.
Nice.
She was so friendly and had a presence about her that I did not feel worthy being part of. She'd always look at Gunny in a way that I now recognize that she was in his frame 100% of the time. I would have given anything to have a woman half as beautiful look at me that way. She adored him with all of her being, but culturally, they never showed public displays of affection. No one else in the shop seemed to notice this about her. This is why I gave Gunny shit about being pussy whipped. This is why I never gave Gunny shit about being pussy whipped. I knew there was something else. As he always said, she's my queen and she's worth it. Before she left, I heard her say, "You be home on time? I'll be sure your bath is hot." He said, "Go home, I'll be there soon." She said, "Yes, the will for you, my king." After she left, I asked Gunny, "She get your bath ready?" "Oh yeah, and then some." He begins to tell us, when he gets home, she meets him at the door. She'd remove his boots and clothes, giving him his robe that she just pulled out of the dryer to be sure it's warm, and slippers for his feet. She would then escort him to the bath and washed him and shaved his face. Then she would give him a cigar and cognac or whiskey, leaving them there so that she could finish making dinner. She would come back, dry him, deodorant, and powder his body, and then dress him. She'd then escort him to the dinner table where they would eat and talk over a full-course dinner. She'd then bring him to the living room where he would read the paper and watch TV, leaving him in peace until bed. She'd then take him to bed and give him the 10 taco. In the morning, she would get up before he did and make breakfast. She would then come back to wake him up with another 10 taco.
Nice.
We already knew she brought him a hot lunch every day. We were all stunned. How often does she do this? What is your birthday? No, she's done this every night since the day we got married. I thought it would stop after our wedding night, but she hasn't missed a night when I'm not deployed. I asked Gunny, "Where did you find such an amazing woman?" One of the guys pitched in, "Yeah, why the fuck would a woman like that marry an ugly motherfucker like you?" And as far as men go, he was rather homely, I gotta say. He said it was an arranged marriage. Her father tracked me down. His family was one that I evacuated in Vietnam. When he found me after 10 years of searching, he had to tell me which event and time. He said his wife ended up losing her leg, but that you saved my family. He offered her for me to marry his youngest, most beautiful daughter. She was 16. I could not dishonor him, so we got married and she became my queen. She gives me her whole being. She takes care of me, and I take care of her. She won't let me touch dishes or laundry or do any housework. When we first got married, I would try to help, and she would tell me, "You want to help housework? Then you grow tits and pussy. Then I divorce you because you have no dick or balls." Wow!
I like it.
So after that, I never tried to do anything she considered woman's work. I handle all the man's work, finances, trash, mowing, maintenance. I give her an allowance to buy groceries. Like I said, she takes care of me, and I take care of her. Nobody called Gunny pussy whipped ever again. I can't recall in my life a couple that was happier than these two. I asked her one day if she remembered the evacuation and what it was like. She said, "For a 6-year-old girl, it was like gods came down from heaven in war machines. After a few minutes, Dan Gyeong himself came out of machine, ran over, and picked up my mom and me and take us out of hell. Then I marry him." A glowing smile spread across her face, and I asked, "Who's Thang Gyeong?" "He is the Vietnamese god of war, like Mars or Ares. They called each other their king and queen. Looking back, it was more like god and goddess. Faithful, friendly, fit, fertile, feminine. Take that and shove it in your feminist crack pipes, you pink-haired, pissed-off Wamalos, as you try to climb the corporate ladder and die alone in boxed wine and catland. I wish I'd followed Gunny's relationship example sooner. I would have avoided several horrible relationships." Iron Riddle out. Wow!
That was fucking amazing story.
That's outstanding. Wow.
Wow.
Woo. Yeah. Yeah, good luck finding that here.
He literally went out there and risked his ass to save that entire family. That
wow.
is respect right there.
Damn respect.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.